first problem of any significance for harvest here on day 2. I know these soybeans aren't running 26%, and since that moisture number is not fluctuating, I know my moisture sensor is stuck. So probably pull it apart, clean it out, put it back in, see if that takes care of things. Pulled the little auger out, dumped it out, no gunk stuck in there, recalibrated it just for fun, see what happens. That looks more like it. It's about what we were running yesterday when we started, about this time of day. So yeah, sometimes that thing gets something in it or whatever, just needs dumped out and good to go. It's a sign of been there, done that. So you can see the yields come up too, because now it's not shrinking it from 26% to the standard of 13%. It's only shrinking it 0.4%. It's a good deal, no big problem. First unload on the go of the season. See how we do. A little trickier for the grain cart guy when I'm running beans, because I'm cutting on an angle compared to the planter, not running straight down the rows like the corn crop. And you can see there's about 5 feet between the cart and the edge of the head. So if we went to a 45-foot draper versus this 40, we'd have to get an auger extension to keep these things from touching each other. First dump on the move of the season. Going good. So yesterday I said we'd take out a panel on the chopper. So that right there, just took the other one out. Looks like that. So now the back is all opened up. So maybe now we get a little more even spread. We'll just have to see what it does. Just a few acres left in this first field. Taking those panels out didn't fix the streakiness. I don't know if you can see right where my finger is pointing. It's kind of like it's dropping all the pods right in the middle of the combine and then spreading all the stems and stuff nicely. So I'm not sure what adjustment is for that. Maybe it's put all the panels back in. I doubt that, but I might text the John Deere guy, get his opinion. Well, that's one field done. Before I take the head off, see if I got any broken guards or sections. All good. Load it up on the trailer and move to the next field. All done here. Moving on. Opening up second field of the season. This bean field is gonna get planted to wheat maybe in the next week. Be planted by these neighbors right here actually, because they have a drill and we don't. They've planted our wheat for quite a few years. We're almost 20 acres into this second field now. Part of it's because I've been around the outside, kind of gotten all the worst parts around the edges, but I'm hoping it gets better as we work this way. It's only making 50 bushel an acre so far. That's not too exciting, especially since the last field made 15 bushel more than that. So hopefully it picks up. It seems to be picking up a little bit, but as I'm just scanning down here from the cab, I see a lot of 2 bean pods, not too many 3s and 4s. That adds up pretty quick. I'll have a bunch of 3s and a bunch of 2s, so there's a lot of pods, but it seems like a lot of them are twofers instead of 3s. So I've done about another 25 acres now, and I have gained 3 bushels, so I'm averaging 53 an acre now. Still would like it to be better. I think it's going to rise. Still, as we go across the field, it's running 60 right now in this spot. I was doing some math. Beans about $14 an acre right now if you hauled them out of the field. So if this field made 55, 10 bushel less than the other field. So in this 84 acres, 10 bushels times 14 bucks, it's 140 bucks an acre. That's almost 12 grand just in this field difference. So, man, it adds up quick, but it's climbing. We got plenty of other beans, so who knows what they're gonna do, but we shall see. Keep pushing on. Interesting story about this field. Back in 2017, it was a pretty wet year. I remember we planted this field. I think it was, might have been even the first field we planted corn. It's pretty cool. It took 3 weeks to come out of the ground, and we had a very wet year. I was pretty happy the field average made 190 that year, but trying this video, and even if you're here in person, this field looks pretty flat, right? But there's little elevation changes here and there, and there's different soil types. The lower ground is good black dirt, and I don't know if you can kind of see I'm going to go through a dip here and back up. Just, you know, maybe a foot or two of elevation change, not much. But the high spots are clay knobs, is what we call them. So they're clay soils. So in that wet year, I was happy with that 190 bushels, especially it took so long to come out of the ground, went through some water stress, and even though we have a county drainage ditch over there, this field's not pattern tiled, but that year made me think about pattern tiling it, which we haven't done yet, but yeah, maybe on the list soon, I don't know. But anyway, on that average 190, those high spots that didn't have so much water damage, they were going 250, 260 bushels per acre. I thought, man, what would this field have done if we had it pattern tiled that year? Now this year's gone into the opposite, and until late summer, it was a pretty dry year. We had good August rains, which is always nice for beans, but June was 3 weeks of 90 degrees and no rain, so that was a tough stretch there. So it's kind of the flip-flop problem this year. The high spots are not as good as the low spots because the low spots have better water holding capacity. And then you can flip-flop the other extreme. Your low spots can drown out and have zero crop. But we don't really have any of that this year, except several miles up that way. We've got one farm that got 6 inches in one shot back in June, I think. There's some zeros out there. So I was just trying to tell you that even though maybe in this part of the world things look flat and pretty uniform, when you get down to it and get to know each field individually, there's quite a bit of variability out there. I was struggling an hour or so ago. I don't know if you can see over there, there's some lumps of bean stubble and trash, dirt over there. I was pushing it with the front of the head and it was dragging under the head. That happens sometimes, no-till problems. On a pretty shallow angle right now, but if you can see, we always cut on an angle. 2 reasons. That way you're wearing out the whole cutter bar the same, and especially in no-till, it keeps that crop sweeping the trash across because you got debris and stuff in between the rows. It tends to build up when you try to go straight. At least that's what we found. But we got the fore aft tilt on the feeder house, so I was able to rock the head back, and then I not running it quite maybe all the way down on the ground, and that seemed to clear that up. And I'm not leaving any pods on the ground, so if I can lift it up a little higher, I'm not leaving any pods, and it gets rid of my trash pushing problem, and that is a good thing. 16 acres to go in this field, so I guess we're finishing it up tonight. Just went through this lower spot just ahead of me here. I was getting up to 80 bushel there. My average now is 54, so still climbing a little bit. Maybe we'll get 55 before we're done with the field. Just about done unloading. And these beans are a lot thicker right here. I had to slow down to chomp them all. Shut that off. Empty. Here's my yield. There we go. 70, 71. Pretty good through here. So, coming up at the end of the field, that's a neat trick, is to finish the field on the side that's better. Then your yield goes up instead of down when you get done. And I said I fixed my pushing dirt problem. Didn't catch that I was pushing some dirt there while I was talking to you. It's more my fault. And sometimes that can be more of a problem this time of day. Right when the sun's going down, stuff starts to get a little bit damp. So it kind of wants to hang on. So no tiller problems, but hopefully that one was a fluke. I'll get through the rest of this without another problem. No big deal. Fun call from my wife. Had a couple texts from her asking if I could look at the app for the credit card. She couldn't pay for her haircut tonight. Then she couldn't pay for dinner when she went to pick that up. So she called the credit card company. Somebody tried to spend $1,000 with our credit card on a website, so I guess we're getting new credit cards. My first thought is, oh, all the auto pay bills. Gotta remember what they all are and update with the new number. Oh well, we didn't lose any money. They shut it down pretty quick, so that's good. Things happen. Well, this field's done. That's 2 fields done in 2 days. This one did end up making right at 55 bushel an acre. It's 8:23, so I'll have enough time to get home, put the boys to bed, eat my dinner that's waiting for me, go downstairs, lift some weights in the basement, and, well, I'll put together these video clips and post this video. Thanks for watching. Good night.